What's going on, everybody?
Oh.
Welcome once again. Here we are.
We're back.
Episode 16, right?
Yes, sir.
Ah, look at that. My brain's working today. Great. Welcome, everybody, to the Bento Boxcast, the most animes, or exactly, the most animes podcast of all the internet, of all the YouTube, of all Spotify, of every single platform that is out there that have podcasts. We are the best at anime, guaranteed. Right?
Guaranteed.
That's the truth. I do not lie. I am not a liar. Okay? As always, by my side here is the most hecting Hector of them all.
hello, everybody.
Hector. Say hello. Say good, Hector. Say hello to everybody.
Hi.
Great. Before we get into all the silliness and all the hijinks and all the shenanigans of anime that we're going to talk about today, really quickly, I just want to remind you guys to follow us on Twitter at the Bento Boxcast if you want to talk to us. I also have a Twitter. It's at Me Talk Anime if you want to talk directly to me. If you want to talk directly to Hector, it is at Ultra_the man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Hector, real quickly, you also stream on Twitch.
I do. Yes.
Remind them. It's at the same name, Ultra_V man.
You can find me there, guys. I play a variety of games, and I talk some anime if you guys want to talk some anime. So there's that. Just come find me there. We can hang out. Good vibes all around.
Okay. Let's see what else. Now, if you are always on the go in a hurry, you have to go pick up the kids, you have to go do laundry, you have to go buy groceries, whatever the reason, you're so super busy that you cannot sit down and listen to the podcast on YouTube because we are on YouTube. Don't worry, we got you. We always got the hookup just for you because you guys are the beautiful listeners and we love every single one of you guys out there. We are on Apple Podcast. Amazing. Beautiful. I cannot believe it. We are on Spotify, of course. Of course we're on Spotify. And we're also on any other platform associated with the Anchor account. Links down below if you guys want to go ahead and listen to us that way. And always follow us on those pages, on those websites. You always get the update of what's going on. Okay? And of course, the main home, the main spot, the main joint, YouTube. Okay, our YouTube page, our YouTube channel. Go ahead and like the video. Okay, go ahead and subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And if you subscribed, just remember, hit the little bell icon. Hit the little bell icon. It's right next to the subscribe button, right? It's just another extra click. So you can go ahead and get notified when another video comes out, when a new podcast comes out every single Friday by noon. By noon, yes, I think that's what we said. So you're always going to be starting off the weekend with a nice dosage of anime goodness of this beautiful podcast we have here today, guys. So remember, go ahead and subscribe and remember to comment, okay? And because we always give the shout outs here, we always read your comments. Okay, if it's not through YouTube, it's through Twitter. You already know we give those shout outs. Okay, fellers. Okay, lady fellers. You already know how we do. Okay. Really quick, one last plug, Hector, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
I just want to plug in my friends and my frenemies, because they're my friends, but also they're my enemies. Those two boys over there at the Playing Pod at Geek Jar 3000. That's another. It's another podcast. Okay, and I'm also part of that podcast. The newest episode that just came out, I was in it. Okay, a lot of laughs, a lot of goofs going on. It was a lot of fun. Not gonna lie, I had a good time podcasting with those two. I've been friends with those guys for a long time. Anyways, what the podcast is about, I'm here talking about them, having to explain what the podcast is, what's going on. The podcast is about video games, TV, movies, anything pop culture that does not relate to anime. Because we take care of the anime stuff. Me, Hector, and I, we got that on lockdown. These guys, they don't know anime like that. And of course, I'm not going to bring anime over there to that podcast because the only anime podcast that I care about is this one, the Bento Boxcast.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Now, if you guys want to listen to everything else, pop culture related, my boys at the Playing Pod on at Geek 3000. They got you covered. And also, I'm gonna be there over there too, guys. So don't worry. Okay, it's not, if you haven't given it a chance, because I don't know them, I don't know them. Don't worry. I'm over there. Go check it out. We have a lot of fun goofing and gaffing over there. We're also putting out gameplay videos too, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, just go check it out. It's a lot of fun. But anyways, that's enough of that. Okay, it's
Hold
enough
on,
of
I
that.
have two complaints.
Uh-oh.
First
Yes.
one being, they are also my friends who I've known for years, alright? Kind of rude to you just say that they're just your friends, alright? And secondly, you do not deserve the power of that little box with noise making buttons. You can't have that because you over spam that, but it was
No, no, no,
hilarious.
no, no, no. I make it work. Okay. Don't don't tell these guys that I over spam it because then they're not gonna let me use it. Okay. Tell them that I use it the perfect amount. It's a lot of fun using the little soundboard. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of fun using
You
it.
look like you're having
Um,
fun. That was hilarious.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a lot of fun. It's especially when I get to boo them. That's a lot of fun. It was a good time. But no, yeah. Like Hector was saying, he knows them for a long time as soon as I do. But yeah, guys, if you guys are interested in something else that's not anime related, go check them out. These guys, they know what they're talking about. If they don't, they know how to BS their way through it. Awesome stuff they got going on over there. Well,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm also over there too. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm a Bento Box boy for life.
Yes,
Ain't
sir.
gonna change. All
Okay.
right, forever, never, never. Okay, I don't care that I'm gonna see them every week to podcast over there. Their hairlines are still messed up. I'm gonna say it. I ain't gonna hide it, bro. Okay, and always and forever. Fudge Alex. That's all I gotta say about that, Hector. Don't get me
Ooh,
started on these guys,
okay.
man. Let's move on, bro. I'm trying to be nice this week, okay? Let me not get started on those fellas over there. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Okay, Hector. One last thing before we get into all the anime goodness of this week.
Okay, okay.
As you guys know, I mentioned it earlier right now. And if you've been a listener over the past few episodes, you also already know this. We always read the comments right before we get into all the anime goodness, okay? And of course, once again, without fail, our main guy, Josue Guevara, comes
Ooh.
in with the clutch, comes in with the alley oop, comes in and says, "Hold up, y'all, don't start without me." He's here with the comment. He says, now this comment is relating to me. Um, these are the last episode. Me and Josue didn't agree on certain things dealing with anime. It was more of him saying, "Hey, if you watch anime, you have to suspend somewhat uh your like disbelief of reality, stuff like that, right? Hopefully I said that right. You have to give anime a little bit leeway when it comes to its storytelling because it's anime."
Mm-hmm.
And I disagreed with him. I said, it doesn't matter if it's anime or not. If the show, if whatever show or movie, if they set up certain rules, I expect them to follow those rules. That's pretty much what I said. Okay, now today he commented, and his rebuttal, his retort was towards me, and it says here, "Wait, do you watch the Fast and the Furious franchise? Question mark. Because you got to suspend belief for that, but it's in the real world and on our Earth and soon to be in space," which is true. Um, because I don't know if you heard, Hector. We also did
Mm-hmm.
talk about this in the playing pod. The 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 Fast and Furious franchise. They're soon going to be in space. That's what they're saying,
Oof, I
right?
did
So the
hear
movies
that.
are going to be in space. We kind of talked about it in the playing pod, and um, I wish I don't know if Jose listens to that podcast. I kind of wish he did because I kind of answer his question in that podcast.
Oof.
Um, I've only seen for the Fast and the Furious franchise. I've only seen the second movie, Too Fast, Too Furious. The third one, Tokyo Drift. That one's called, and the seventh one where not Van, what's his name? The bald
Vin
man.
Diesel.
Vin Diesel. I was gonna call him Van Diesel. Vin Diesel. He's fighting. I think he was fighting The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
and then he punches the concrete, and he's like, "It's family," and he punches the concrete, and then like the concrete breaks, and I think he beats The Rock that way. So it was really stupid. It was really dumb. And that's it. That's all I've seen. So
Hmm.
to answer your question, Josue, no, I don't watch that franchise. That franchise is stupid. Okay, like I like the second one, and the third one's kind of cool. You know, they're in Japan or whatever. I'm well, we're weebs here, so anything Japan, I do enjoy
It
seeing
was pretty cool.
on. It's pretty cool to see. Um, but my favorite one is really the only other one I've seen was part two with Paul Walker and what's his name, the other
Tyrese
guy.
Gibson.
Tyrese Gibson and like their buddy dynamic and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed number two. And number two was still set in reality if you go back and watch that movie, right? So going from three where they're drifting in Japan, Tokyo, to part seven where these guys are punching concrete and fighting helicopters or whatever else they were doing. I didn't enjoy it. I was in the theater rolling my eyes. I'm like, what is this? This is really what these people watch nowadays? Like these guys started off just street racing and now they're like superheroes or whatever. And now, present day, they're going to space. So no, Josue, I'm not a fan of this franchise. I I talk smack about this franchise anytime I get, and I it's one of those franchises you just be like, yeah, it's just it's gone. Like I know there's people there's fans out there who love it. I'm not a fan, just because the way it started and the way it is now is just like, nah, bro. I'm good. You know, if I do watch it, I'm gonna watch it to laugh and to make fun of it. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, Fast and Furious, that's my thing. Like, no, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it for a goof and a gaff. I'm watching for some
Goof
for
and a
some
gaff.
yeah. I'm watching for uh S word and giggles. I don't know how to switch it out. That saying
Yeah,
back
I'm
there.
trying to
Yeah,
think of something, but I can't think of anything right now.
right. But just I'm gonna watch it ironically. I don't know. I'm not gonna be like, yes, Fast and the Furious, baby. Like, no, that's not me. I'm not Alex and John. They love it. I'm not that. I don't love it. Okay. So that's answering your question, Josue. And that's all the comments we had was Josue
Oh,
just he's trying to check me. Sorry, Josue, but my best friend, you can't check me like that. All right. Because I stick what I said and I say what I mean and I mean what I say. You know what I'm saying, Hector?
okay, okay. We love a man like that. All right.
Ooh, okay, great. So moving on. Oh my God, Hector, it is 8:54. It looks like we're on time again.
Oh, wow.
Look
Two
at
times in
that.
a row.
Look at that. Maybe it's a change of pace for once. We're on time. It is the Anime News Channel 69 with our correspondents Hector and me,
Ooh.
Rafa. All right, I'm gonna let you start, Hector. I know you have some things you want to bring up.
Wow. Okay, okay. So we do have four articles today, Rafa. We're just gonna go with the four that you had mentioned, and I'm gonna start off with probably the one that relates to both of us the most, and that is that the Great Pretenders manga has gone on hiatus officially,
Oof. Rest in
which
peace.
is kind of wild. I was a little bit surprised just because of the fact that I just got into the show recently with our, last, I believe it was the last episode, if not the episode before that, with our anime swap, and I've actually gotten really into it. I'm pretty much close to the end. I think I'm like 2-3 episodes behind from finishing the entire season one on Netflix. And I mean, yeah, I know you kind of fell in love with it. I know it kind of grew to your number one pick.
Yes.
So I mean, yeah, I wanted to hear how you think of it, and if you have any other little details on why it's on hiatus.
It is on hiatus because the manga artist he is sick. He's not doing well.
The
So,
usual nowadays.
yeah, and it's very sad to hear because, uh, it's not. It doesn't sound like the manga is it's at all coming to an end, right? But if whatever, God forbid, anything happens to the manga artist, is the manga ever going to continue, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
happened before with other artists that they would put their manga on hiatus because they got sick, and unfortunately they would pass away, and that's pretty much the end of their creation, right? So let's hope that the manga artist gets in better health and doesn't. I'm trying to see if I can find his name. I
I
don't.
actually have this article pulled up. 'Cause his name is No, that's the name of the actual character. Hiro Kaburagi
Okay, thank you. Okay,
is directing the series at Wit Studio. Um,
that doesn't sound like it's him.
yeah, that's not him. However, Magakami website announced Thursday that Great Pinnacle blah blah blah. Mari. Wow, dude, I messed up his name so bad.
Daichi Maori.
Yeah, that is his name, Daichi Maori. I wish I knew names better, but that is indeed the creator of Great Pretenders.
Give me a second. Okay, right. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, the manga artist, his name is Maori, as we said. We butcher names here left and right, so we apologize, sir. Especially right now you're not doing so well. So hopefully he recovers. The manga itself, it is on hiatus. There's no date on when it's gonna come back. So it is pretty much just whenever the guy feels better, whenever he recovers from whatever he feels ill, and I hopefully he gets better sooner than later, man, because it's really sucks to hear someone, well, anybody really, but especially with people who we enjoy their work, we enjoy their either the manga or the anime or whatever they're working on. It really sucks to hear that that people get sick and wouldn't be able to, you know, to to create and to show what all the creative side and showing us with their worlds and all these like awesome things they come up with, especially with like manga and anime. It really sucks when stuff like this happens. Um, but side note, just kind of try to end this story on a little bit on a positive. Still, Mr. Maury, again, sorry if I missaid your name. Hopefully you recover well. Uh, Best wishes to you. Um, Hector, I don't even remember, but when we were talking about the Great Pretender, I was kind of freaking out a little bit towards we're talking about the ending, how it had Freddie Mercury
Mm-hmm.
and the ending song because he was singing the Great Pretender.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is actually the first ever anime to have Freddie Mercury on a
Oh
song.
wow. Okay.
So that's actually really cool to know that this is that of all the animes ever made, this is the first anime ever to have Freddie Mercury on either the opening or ending. So that's really cool to hear. Um, that's pretty much what we got for this article. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. Do you have anything else, Hector?
Honestly, the entire article kind of reminded me of something that I had read somewhere, but I cannot confirm if it's 100%. But essentially, the Hunter x Hunter manga writer is also sick right now, and they don't know exactly how soon he'll get better. So something that I had read that was really really cool is that his wife, who is also a manga artist, has picked up kind of his drawing habits and has tried to learn to draw as he does in order to continue his story. Um, which is something kind of really, really cool that obviously is not very common, right? Because, manga artists are very unique, and the fact that he married a woman who is also a manga artist is really, really awesome. So, um, Yeah, I mean, it was something that just kind of came to mind. And also, for those of you that do watch the show and are excited about how, great it is, there will be cases 1 through 3 up. So it's going to be episodes 1 through 14. And then case 4, which is going to be 15 through 23, is going to be coming out in Japan on the 21st of September, which means it'll be coming out for us hopefully shortly thereafter. So, yeah, that's it for that article right there.
Cool. So, moving on. Speaking of things being released and things like that, right? More anime stuff, more manga stuff that we love. There's another article here that I want to bring up to you, Hector. Now, I'm a huge fan of this show. I don't know about you. It sounds like you're not, you're kind of about it, but I'm a huge fan. I love this show, and I know there's a lot of people out there who also love this show. Konosuba,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Konosuba, love this show, love it. Season one was brought over here, was distributed over here. You can buy the Blu-ray and stuff like that. But it was just announced recently that season two is going to be distributed here in the West, on the western side of things, in the United States. Um, by there's no official date, but by 2021 is they're saying it's going to come out, right? So the distribution company, this Discotech Media is kind of it's partnering up with Crunchyroll
Mm.
to release this here in on the West, which is awesome to see. They tweeted out a picture of Konosuba saying, "What is this? I know these people." Hinting pretty much, that they're going to be releasing the the second season on Blu-ray. So pretty much what's going to be on the Blu-ray itself, it's going to be the full second season with English and Japanese original dub,
Ooh.
and also it's going to include the OVA. So remember
Oh, yeah.
that special like episode, that movie type.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really a movie, but you know what I'm saying, like that where it continued the story after the second season.
Yeah, the Megumin specific destroyer
Yes,
episode, yes. So
yes,
I
that
do
one.
want to say before you continue on, I don't want you to speak any more ill on my name because I do love this show. I absolutely do
Mm.
like this show. I just do not care for Blu-ray releases. I don't
Okay.
care for DVDs, movie releases because I don't purchase them, and most people that I know don't purchase them. But I do love this show. This show is I'm very excited about it. I love the movie. I like the movie, but I loved season 2.
Okay. Now, the reason why I was saying that, the reason why this is really kind of cool thing to see is it's they're showing love to Konosuba. Okay. Like I don't think there's still any word of season three, not that I know of. So like they're showing love to Konosuba, and yes, not Blu-rays is it's a dying format. Not people are not really buying Blu-rays. But like I said in the last episode, people do like collecting the Blu-rays at minimum just to have them. Um, and it's just really cool to see that they're still paying attention to Konosuba. They're still keeping an eye on it, saying like, "Hey, we know we know there's a fan base out there, and we're willing to, put it out there and distribute it." Because they could just forget about it and just be like, whatever, and just let it go to the side or whatever. But they're still showing that they care somewhat, right? Like the one thing that I want, I guess, at the end of the day, like yeah, since season two's been out for a long time, the OVA has been out for a long time. It's good that it's being brought here to the West. But at the end of the day, the one thing that everybody wants is a season three, and hopefully with this pushes that further that we will eventually get a season three. That's what I want. At the end of the day, I just want a season three. I want the story to continue because these characters are hilarious. The show is just one of the best. This show is one of the best isekai shows. You cannot change my mind, Hector. I don't care what you say. This is one of the best.
I agree. I have nothing to say against it. I love the show. Konosuba is a great show. I loved watching it when it was airing, and I'm excited for season 3 whenever they decide to release it. I'm sure it's gonna get a lot of hype behind it because a lot of people actually really do love the show. So super excited for that. Can't wait for it.
And if you beautiful listeners out there are fans of Konosuba, be follow my example and go pick up a copy when it does release. Don't be like Hector and be stubborn. Go support go support. Okay, fellas and lady fellas, go support out there. Don't be a stubborn person like Hector here.
Or save your money and pay for the Crunchyroll Premium. There you go. Boom. You can watch it on release.
No, don't listen to him. Listen to me. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyways, Hector, before you continue polluting the beautiful listeners' minds with your horrible opinion, like we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, with the next article here, it's a really fun little thing I just wanted to bring up that happened about last week, or so about last week. I don't know if you keep up with the political news, the political stuff that's going on here in the United States. Do
I
you, Hector?
somewhat do. Yeah, it's kind of
Somewhat.
messed up all around. So no surprise
Okay.
really.
Now, I for one am not very political. Okay. And this is not the podcast to talk about politics because I don't know about you, but I am completely unqualified and have zero knowledge about it, so I can't really speak about politics. But something really interesting happened that relates to the President of the United States, weirdly enough. His son, Eric Trump, tweeted out, went on Twitter, and said, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna blow y'all minds. He tweeted this out. This is what he said. Google is once again trying to manipulate Americans. Type mob or mobs into Google and watch what comes up. Do the same on any other engine. Hashtag nothing to see here. Now, on the same tweet, this is the tweet that he sent out about last week or so. He put out four pictures attached to this tweet. It is a picture from Yahoo Images, Bing Images, and Gogo Duck Images. I think hopefully I said that website right, and Google Images. And each one, they searched up mob on Yahoo, on Bing, on that Duck search engine, on all of those. All you see is pictures of large groups of people gathered around, which pretty much is what a mob is, right? Just giant groups of people. But on Google Images, this is the thing that he wanted to point out, is all you see is pictures of Mob from Mob Psycho 100 from the anime. So this is what he's pointing out,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, if Google's trying to hide something or whatever, not the reason I'm bringing this up. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because the same day the official Mob Psycho 100 Twitter account replied. Didn't reply directly, but they just put out a tweet, right? And but people connect the dots. People know what it's all about. The official Mob Psycho 100 Twitter account said, "Hello, I heard I was trending," and a little smiley face and a picture of Mob smiling, having a good time, because Mob Psycho 100, after the president's son put out that tweet, Mob Psycho 100 was actually trending on Twitter. Like it was blowing up on Twitter, like Mob Psycho 100, like it was everywhere. And it's really funny to see that that the people behind the Mob Psycho 100 said, like, all right, cool, this is let's take this and kind of do something with it. For example, the Japanese official account on Twitter, and they, instead of just throwing out a joke, they said like, "Hey, look at us, we're trending on Twitter, and go check out the show." So they just plugged in their show, which is really funny to see. Which is really cool. It's really cool to see, like, without going into all the politics or whatever. It's really funny to see that this is the cool thing about Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That these companies are really gonna kind of getting into it. I don't know if you've seen it, but like for example, like the Wendy's Twitter, or like trying to think what were some of the other ones, like the McDonald's Twitter. Like these companies are really getting, I don't say edgy, but they're getting pretty crazy with the stuff they tweet out. So it's kind of cool to see. I mean, that wasn't crazy or anything like that, but it's really fun to see saying like, hey, they acknowledged it and said like, hey, yeah, we're trending. That's it's something funny to see, right? It's really cool. For example, I don't know if you ever seen those, but the Arbys for a long time they were putting out like JoJo stuff from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like on
Hmm.
the Twitter and stuff like that. So like
Okay.
um, it would be a picture of the like of the burger, whatever they're selling, and behind it would be a drawing of a JoJo character from the official Arby's account. Like I was like, oh, that's so cool, like they for them to acknowledge. It's like it's almost like they're acknowledging us, as anime fans, winking at us and stuff like that. I never ate Arby's, so
Me
and I
either.
haven't I haven't since then. But I was like, hey man, cool, thanks Arby's, thank you
I will
for
say I think Arby's has like some crazy collabs because I'm pretty sure our friend Nathan just retweeted out that they're collabing with Cuphead.
the
Which
Cuphead. Yeah,
yeah,
I
and then
did
I
see
don't
that.
remember also them seeing them collabing with My Hero at some point last year.
Yeah,
Um,
that yeah.
so I mean Arby's is they're on point with the anime gang and just nerdy culture, but I've never had anything from Arby's before. Although I am kind of curious about it to be honest. So I don't know. Maybe
You
one
know,
day we'll see.
it's working on me because now I'm like, maybe I should get some Arby's.
Me
They're
too.
supporting our fandom. Maybe I'll support them. Who knows? So who knows? Maybe Hector, we should get a burger from Arby's one of
What
these
do they
days.
have there? Like I think like
Burgers,
is it burgers? I thought it was like what's that, dude? I don't even know. See, this is how uncultured I am when it comes to
like
Arby's.
like
It's like what's that?
we
The
have the
sliced
meats,
yeah. What's the sliced ham or whatever that they have? Like roast beef, right? That's what it is.
like roast beef, yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay.
They have curly fries. I know that. I know for a fact they have curly fries.
I don't know. Maybe,
So
maybe one of these days we might create a little video for you guys of us of us going to Arby's and trying
right,
Arby's.
us supporting Arby's like they really need us to support them, right? This giant multi-million dollar chain. But yeah, we'll do it.
That'd be a funny
We'll go
video.
and get
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see
we'll
what
go and
goes.
get a burger. Like, can I get the Naruto special, please? And they're gonna look at me like, what are you talking about, bro? Get out of here. That's what's gonna happen. Can I get the JoJo special? And they're gonna look at me like, what are you
Just
talking about?
special.
Yeah. um, but no, yeah, yeah. Twitter is off the chisang, and I love it, and it's really cool
Off
to
the
see.
chisel.
It's really cool to see that these big companies they don't mind throwing shots and things like that. Even though this one was somewhat tamed, it was really cool to see they said something like that. But the last thing I want to bring up, Hector,
Mm-hmm.
the last article, the last news that I want to bring up, something I'm very excited for. I'm a big fan, super fan, and
Ooh, talk to us
I
about it.
know, I know that right now, because of the certain thing that's happening worldwide, especially here in the United States, because we don't know how to control ourselves. There's a certain thing happening where we have to run around and wear a mask all day, right? You get what I'm saying?
I do. I do. I feel you 100%.
Right. So, and because of the certain thing that's still happening um, nationwide, um, a lot of places that we used to go to normally, we can't do it anymore.
Unfortunate.
For example, watching movies, going to the theater and watching a movie. Now, we recently did go to one to
Yes,
go
we
see
did.
The Tenant with Alex and John and a bunch of other friends, but that was a little bit different because we paid to rent out the actual like
You got
room or theater
money
room or
like
whatever.
that, huh? Okay, money bags, yo. I see you.
No, 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 not me, not me. That was all Alex. Alex said, "Put it on the card." That's what Alex told the lady. I heard him.
Wow.
He said, "Put it on the card." And then he also, by the way, rented out the other two rooms next to us because he didn't want nobody near us.
Damn. Okay.
It was
Money
all
bags,
Alex.
yo. All right, I'm gonna hit up.
Money,
What is it?
young boy never broke.
There you
Alex.
go. Young boy never broke.
That's Alex over there. Yeah, he has all the money in the world. Not me. I'm broke boy Rafa, but Alex, money bags, yo. Young boy never broke. That's all Alex over there. He took care of all of that. He just invited us to go watch China with him. which I was happy. I don't care about the movie, but it was fun to hang out
Yeah,
with
you
the
say
crew
that because
once
you
again.
probably didn't get it. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, first of all, oh my God, first of all, anybody coming out that movie saying, "Oh yeah, I got it," they're lying to you. Okay? Because that movie is complicated.
No,
That
it
movie is
wasn't.
everywhere. Oh my God,
It
here we go. Big
wasn't.
brain Hector over here. Big, big college boy Hector over here, understanding everything. No, that movie is confusing. Don't turn to act like I understood it. No, okay, it's confusing. Even the movie itself said, "Hey, don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. Just feel it." That's what the movie told you. If the movie said me that, well, what do you
The
expect?
movie
It was
told
confusing.
you that. I never heard that because I got it. You know what I'm saying? 300
Are you
plus IQ.
serious? The scientist lady told that to the main guy. She's like, don't try to understand it, just feel it. Remember when she was showing about the bullets going in reverse? Anyways, we're not here to talk about
We're
Tenet.
not a pop culture tenant podcast.
Yeah, but final comment. That movie's confusing, and if you act like you understood it the second you got out of that theater, you're a liar and you're a jackass, Hector.
I just sense hate and
No,
ignorance.
no.
You a dummy
Anyways,
head. You
let me
are a
get
geek jar guy. Oh my god.
no,
You
no,
are
no,
a
no,
dum dum.
no, no,
Oh
no.
no.
Don't start. This is what they want, Hector. They want us to start fighting and arguing and they want us to start cracking. We gotta stay united. We
Bento
have to
Boys for life.
exactly. We have to do that thing where they did in Tenet, where they put their hands together
Oh,
and
okay,
say
okay.
Tenet.
Tenant. Got it.
We
Done.
gotta stay together, okay? Hector, don't let those geek jar boys get between us. Anyways, the reason why I brought up movie theaters things like that because it's been announced, it's been listed, it's been shown that have you ever seen the movie Akira? Before I move on,
You know what? I know all about it. I have not fully watched it. I've watched clips, however, but I can't say that I've watched it from front to or from start to finish.
legendary anime movie, one of the best anime movies ever. Okay, this anime movie is on top 10,
Mm.
not even top 5 of like anime movie lists, right? This movie came out, I think it came out like in the 80s. I'm not 100% sure when this movie came out. But I saw this movie a long time ago and it was like, man, this is it right here. This, like, this movie was the thing, man. Yeah, late 80s this movie came out. Um, but anyways, for those who have seen Akira and for those who haven't, like Hector, guess what? Now you can watch it on the big screen.
Ooh.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah. It says it here. Akira's films 4K remastered, listed with limited US screenings on September 24th. That's coming up. It's about maybe in a week or so.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it's coming up pretty quickly. So it says here, both AMC theaters and Regal cinemas, which, that's like state, not state, but like country, right? We have, AMC theaters here, we have Regal theaters here, saying that they listed Akira for September 24th date,
Ooh.
where they're showing the 4K remastered version, okay, and select theaters throughout the United States. So most likely it's gonna be the big cities. I'm assuming like New York, L.A., Chicago. Of course, they're gonna have it here. The second biggest city. Of course, they're gonna have it here. Um, and just a heads up for those who are interested and want to see this, in Regal Cinemas, specifically only Regal Cinemas, they're only going to be showing the English subtitle only, so the original Japanese audio, because there is a dub, there is an English dub. But the Regal theaters or Regal cinemas are only showing the English sub with original Japanese audio. Just a heads up for people who are interested in watching in the theaters. If you don't, if you want to
Ooh.
see it, if you want to see it English dub, gotta hit up AMC, my fellers. That's the way you can do that. Okay. Um, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. That's just the really fun announcement, something that I'm looking forward to, something that I'm gonna look into
Oh,
to
okay.
see. Maybe I can pick up some tickets and go see Akira. Like I said, I've seen this movie at least 3 times. I've never seen it in the theater, so I would love to see this in the theater. See how just the whole spectacle of going to see a movie like that. I'll see. Maybe we could do something again like how we did with Tenet. I don't know. We're gonna have to talk to the rest of the boys
True.
to see how that works out. But if not, minimum, I might just go by myself. Who
Oh, okay.
knows? Unless a certain someone wants to come along with me as my date, Hector. Do you want to go with me
You know what?
as my date?
For the Bento Boxcast,
Sean.
I will do it, and especially because it comes out the day after my birthday, so I'd be down.
Hey, happy birthday to you. Happy early birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you.
Cool. So, we'll look into that and see what
Definitely.
see what happens. Yeah, for sure. But that is everything on the news this week. Everything that we want to talk about. That's it for the news.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Hector, and thank you,
Thank you,
me.
Rafa.
Thank you, thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the main thing that we want to talk about this week. The main thing is, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but uh, summer 2020 anime season is starting to wrap up. It's starting to come to a close. Not a lot left going on. A lot of the shows are starting to hit their climax. A lot of shows are starting to start wrap things up. So we're here going to talk about what shows that we still kept up with, what shows that we still are watching, and where we are, how we feel about them, so on and so forth. Now, of course, you already know, y'all listening, beautiful listeners already know, Rental Girlfriend's on that list. But Hector, I want to say that one for last.
Oh, okay. Okay. I messed
Let's
with that. Okay.
let's put a Rental Girlfriend for last. Let's talk about the stuff, everything else that you and me are watching right now. Kind of give how we feel, what our takes are, what do we expect, how we expect it to end, things like that. And then of course, once summer 2020 comes to a close, which is what, about 2 weeks or so, we'll let you guys know how we feel, how the shows ended, if they ended or if they're continuing, how we feel about that. And of course, you already know we're going to talk about fall season of anime that's coming up really soon, really fast, and what we expect from that new season too. So, Hector,
Mm.
I'm gonna let you start off. What
Ooh.
you've been watching?
All right. So I want to recap every single thing, not like fully recap, but just recap the shows that I have watched throughout this season. And I'm only gonna really talk about the ones that I did not drop. So if you go back to previous episodes where we did talk about this, I kind of did mention some that I dropped and then some that I was kind of iffy about. But here we go. For this season, I have watched and been keeping up with Black Clover, Fire Force, Food Wars, Goblin Slayer, which was a movie, right? One Piece, of course, ReZero, Starting Life in a New World, of course, Rent a Girlfriend, because best show, Sorta Online, and recently I picked it back up, but I'm still kind of on the fence of it. But it is The Misfit of Demon Academy. Those are the ones that I have been watching, excluding Pokemon Journeys, because that one, although it did kind of come back with this season, it is a reoccurring every week um, specific anime. A little bit different than the other ones because this is more of a, I don't know if you remember like back in the day, like an actual cartoon when we were younger on Cartoon Network and they'd show it every week. This is essentially what it is. It's an ongoing show. There you go. That's what I meant to say. And actually, funny enough, before I kind of get into further in depth on the shows that I've been watching, Pokemon kind of just came out recently with them saying that, hey, guess what? We're gonna be releasing on Fridays now instead of the typical Sundays because they kind of want to do it with another show that airs on Fridays and make this like kind of like block schedule for just anime and just cartoons that people like to enjoy. So I'm really really excited about that. That means I get more Pokemon. I think it actually also means it might be a little bit longer. I know there was like a lot of theories about what is going to happen with it changing time, dates and air time and things like that. So super excited about it. Apparently it's going to become more plot and story driven, so I actually really really like that instead of what it is currently. So I don't know, very excited for Pokemon Journeys and the rest of that. But I mean, for the most part, I would say my favorite things of this season, and that I highly recommend to everybody, from my opinion, are ReZero, Rent a Girlfriend. Obviously, I will always recommend One Piece, and ooh, this is a really hard one. I would say Food Wars. Food Wars are probably the four shows that I would recommend this season. Um, do I want to say Sword Art? I kind of feel like this was kind of meh. I will say,
Hmm.
and the part that kind of sucks the most about this season is that I had a lot of hype for a lot of these shows, but to be honest, most of them kind of just fell off pretty hard for me. Um,
Right.
and I'll kind of go into detail because I feel like we have. Well, I know for a fact we agree on one of them. And I'll let you kind of get into that one when we talk more about it. But Black Clover, although as much as I loved a lot of the filler episodes that were going on, it got to a point where it's like, all right, this is a little too much filler. I get you guys are trying to give yourself enough cushion to both create and give the manga some more, chapters that you guys can make more content on, but too much filler kind of killed the vibe for me, but I have been keeping up with it. And then let's see, the other ones that I did also say were like One Piece has it's getting in full swing. It's fantastic. I love it. The manga itself is getting to a huge turning point in the Wano arc. So seeing One Piece kind of catch up with it is fantastic. It is over 1,100 episodes in, so there's tons of content there. ReZero, and honestly, okay, ReZero and Rent a Girlfriend are my two choices of anime that I've been watching on Crunchyroll. Those two are my top two, and it's very hard to distinguish which one is number one, although I just want to say it's Rent a Girlfriend as of right now. ReZero has been absolutely amazing. If you guys have not watched that show, I am telling you guys, you are snoozing. You are missing out super hard because that show is just it's mind effing, if you get what I mean. Like
Ooh.
it's so intense. It's crazy. There's so much lore behind it. There's so much that poor Subaru and Emilia Tan and everybody has to deal with. And season two just starts off with a huge banger off of season one. I think just I'm so excited for this show. I look forward to every week when it comes out. Same thing as well for Rent a Girlfriend, obviously. But those two are the two shows that I think have kept up my attention and love for it since episode one. So I will 100% hands down always recommend these two shows from this season. These two are my favorites. Sword Art Online had a great starting point, and then it kind of like started going on a little roller coaster ride where it went kind of down, and then one episode went back up, and it's whatever. But so I'm still a diehard SAO fan, so it is what it is. I stick with it. I know the show, I know what it's about, and I know its downfall sometimes. But of course, Rent a Girlfriend, ReZero, definitely my top two picks. Right after that, I'd say it's definitely One Piece and yeah, actually Food Wars. But every other show that I have been keeping up with, yeah, I would say it's kind of they have their lackluster moments, and sadly, that's two of them for sure. That yeah, that kind of disappointing. Also, just a little side note: if you guys want to watch God of High School, I personally dropped it, but from everything I've been seeing on Twitter and just content creators, God of High School is actually really great when it comes to animation and just the action scenes and everything. So like, definitely give it a shot. It's worth it. As much as I love the mangaka, which is actually apparently it's a webtoon, but it's the actual term for it is mangaka, which is Mangaka. Or mangua as well. Yeah, I think that's also another one I saw. Mangua. Um, it's such a great concept show. Awesome. I would say watch it if you want to kind of get into like what a webtoon is. The art style is completely different than what we see nowadays. To be honest, I think a lot of the webtoon art style is a lot better, and like mangaka and mangua stuff is a lot better than the current art styles that we be seeing here and there.
No,
So
it's from a lot of these webtoons or the mangaka or whatever you're saying. It's from South Korea,
mhm.
so it's a whole different other
Yeah, it's a
region,
whole
whole
different
different
thing.
other
Yeah.
country. So different influences, different cultures, and things like that. So you can that I mean that's why it's different, right? It's not just Nothing against Japanese manga, but it's a different take.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
so
and
that's
you
really
see it
cool to
there
see.
like really hard. So, I really like it. Personally, I would always recommend just reading the actual, the story, the actual like words on the screen or the paper, however you like to consume your manga. Excuse me. And yeah, I mean, definitely, I think it's worth a watch. It's such a great thing. Definitely support it. Let's get some more of that out there. And I will continue, or at least yeah, I'll continue with my woes of this season. So Rafa, let's hear what you kind of had to say and what you've been watching.
For sure. I've been watching only three shows. Only three survived for me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, unlike you. And honestly, Hector, um, this is rare for me. For me, typically nowadays, I tend to watch either one, maybe two shows.
Wow. Okay.
So for me to be watching three, it's a little
It's a
bit
big
different.
deal.
It's somewhat of a big deal. I used to do what you do now, where I would have five, six, seven shows that I'm watching, and I'm keeping up with every like, oh, I know the day it's gonna come out, this and that, whatever, whatever, and then I'll be like, oh, I can't wait for this episode, I can't wait for this episode. I feel like my time is kind of past with that. Like I said before multiple times, for me to really be into the show has to really, really entice me. And this season, that one show is Run a Girlfriend, hands down. That's
Wow.
the one show that I look up when the next episode's come out, which is tends to be Saturday mornings. I'm ready to watch it on Saturday morning. Um, the other two shows that I've kept up with is Decadence and Fire Force. Right now,
Hmm.
you and me love Fire Force a lot. Decadence has been a trippy experience to say the least. But the shows that I ended up dropping was what's the name? The Demon Academy one, the one we
Yes,
talk
the
about the guy
Misfit
who's
of Demon
being up.
Academy. Yeah.
That one, I ended up dropping it. I was just I couldn't get into it. It was fun the beginning, how silly it was and things like that. But I was just like, do I watch this or do I watch something else? And I'd rather watch something else. That's the way I felt with it. So I ended up dropping that. What else did I end up dropping? God of High School. Again, the problems that I had with that show, I just couldn't get over them. Just how chaotic and all over the place that show is with the powers and all that stuff. I just couldn't get into that one. I just couldn't. I tried, but nah, it wasn't working for me. So I dropped that one. There was also this other show that I was talking about. I forgot the name of it, but it's a girl with the white hair with the big titties. I don't even remember the one I was talking about.
Um.
She was hanging out with her senpai, because her senpai was like a nerdy ass dude who just wanted to like be lazy and do nothing, and then she's like, hey, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that. I talked about it before.
Actually, while you're looking that up, I'm gonna say something that I kind of just want to correct a little bit. So, I actually looked it up. Mangaka is a person who creates manga, so that's not the name of the content that I was referring to, you guys. And actually, the proper term for the Korean creations when it comes to like the comics and manga is actually called manhwa. So it's manhwa, and that is the official name for, or rather, the Korean term for comics and print cartoons, which we normally call manga and anime and things like that. So, manhwa is the proper terminology. Mangaka is the terminology for someone who creates manga. So just keep that in mind. And also, when you brought up Decadence, I completely forgot about that. I do watch Decadence, although, however, I want to say I'm like 2 episodes behind, but it's definitely a trippy experience, and we can kind of get more like in depth on that too. But Fire Force, of course, is the one that I think we both agree on that has been not fulfilling our expectations, to say the least.
Yeah. So the anime that I was talking about, it's called Uzaki Chant Wants to Hang Out. Um, it's only on Funimation before we get into Fire Force and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It has great reviews on there. I just never really went back to watch it again. It's a show that I've been wanting to go back and watch it because I did enjoy the few episodes that I did see. I did enjoy. It was funny, and then the main girl Uzaki, the girl with the big boobs, she's great. She's an awesome character, and like the dynamic she has with her senpai, it's really fun because he's all like, "Leave me alone," and she's like, "No, I'm not gonna leave you alone. Let's hang out. Let's do something, right?" So they have a really fun dynamic. It's just I don't know for some reason it like I said if it doesn't catch me 100%. I tend to not watch it, or I tend to put it off to watch something
Hmm.
else.
Okay.
It's just the way that I am. Until I kind of come around to it, like, you know what? Let me give it another shot, or let me watch it, or I just say, nah, forget it. I'm gonna move on, and or oh, the next season's here, so I'm gonna go check that out first, you know. So then I ended up forgetting about it. But this is one this show I kind of want to go back and kind of keep watching it, maybe here and there, maybe an episode or two here and there, but it's just I don't know. I feel like I'm in the minority because it has great reviews. People are loving the show. Now moving on to Fire Force because this is something we wanted to I wanted to talk to you about, but
Hmm.
we waited for today right now to talk about it. Um, I'm caught up all the way on or on episode 11 as we speak right
Hmm.
now. It just came out about a few days ago. I have I don't want to say I'm. Yeah, I guess you can say I am being let down by the show because it started off great. We were hyped. We're like, oh man, can't wait to see what's gonna happen. They start talking about the pillars and this and that, and whatever, whatever. And I felt like it took too much time with the part where they were trying to get the pink-haired girl. I don't remember her name.
She is the fourth or fifth pillar, which is all I
She
remember.
is the fifth pillar
Okay, so she is the
because
fifth pillar that I don't remember her name.
it's the first pillar is the girl is the blonde haired girl,
Hmm.
and the second pillar is the girl who's on the white clad with that crown over her eyes.
Yeah, the girl with the electricity,
Yeah, the third pillar is Shinra's little brother.
and then Shinra's the fourth pillar, and then she's the
Shinra's
fifth.
number fourth, and the pink hair girl is the fifth. Now I did enjoy the fights in that section, especially
Yes. Okay.
between Shinra and like the big black dude.
Hmm.
Like that fight was just
Great
all
description, by the
just.
way. Big black dude. Okay.
I am I wrong? If you look it up, where you gonna see a big black dude
uh,
fighting Shinra? I don't remember his name, but like that was awesome. That was such an awesome fight.
yeah,
Like
dude,
that, like
that scene
top
alone
notch, top
was
notch.
probably the saving grace of that arc, right? That little mini arc.
Yeah,
Um, but I will say I deeply hate the Grum Pink, like extremely hate her.
yeah. I mean, she's a bad guy, so I guess you're supposed to hate her.
Did not like her
You know.
whatsoever.
Um, for you guys out there wondering, the Fire Force, Shinra and them, the good guys are trying to get the pink haired girl who is one of the pillars. She has an Adolo burst, which is like immense power in a sense. Like the only like a very few people have an Adolo burst,
Mm-hmm.
which as right now we were saying, there's only living. I think there's only about four of them who have an Adolo burst, which is like this immense power. Like you can literally destroy the world with it, things like that. Um, One of them could stop time somehow. I don't even know how that's. I still don't understand how he does it, but that's how much power they have. Um, but anyways, the good guys, the Fire Force, are trying to get the pink haired girl away from the bad guys, which is the white clad. These guys are the white clad are trying to end the world in a sense, very, very generic bad guy stuff. They're trying to end the world. But then they're like, "Hey, come with us. These guys are the bad guys. You'll be in danger, whatever." And the pink-haired girl's like, "Hey, I love danger. I'm gonna roll with them. F y'all." Which I was like, okay, like I was surprised. I was like, okay, I guess like you want to go with them. I guess you're gonna go with them. Like you just don't care, huh? You don't care about your safety. I guess she's a psychopath.
Yeah, straight up.
She's insane. Like, well, the second she saw that, I was like, yeah, I don't care about you. You're crazy. Like, whatever. Like, they're gonna use you or whatever. And I don't know. If you maybe there's a redemption story for her at a certain point, But as of right now, I don't care for the pink-haired girl. She's crazy. I was just like, whatever, dude. Shinro, forget her. Move on. There's three other pillars out there. Try to find them. Who knows? Just try to figure this out. Um, and then the show right after that they answered that thing where they went outside of Japan, which
Hmm.
is really cool to see. I kind of like that to kind of show like, hey, these guys are somewhat sheltered in a sense, right? Like they people who live in Japan, it's not a thing that people normally do
Hmm.
in this world. That was really cool because in a sense anything outside of Japan is considered a wasteland. It's considered dead zone pretty much, right? And they ended up finding a structure
Hmm.
similar to the Amaterasu structure that's powering Japan, keeping them alive and stuff like that in Tokyo. I think it was in China, right? I think they went to China.
Yeah, they went to. Yeah, I think actually it was China. I'm pretty positive.
So then they found that, and there was a whole story with that. I wasn't the biggest fan of that little section right there, especially with the talking animals. I was like, okay, I guess. But I do, some important information did come from that. So that was okay. That's the only reason I was okay with it. Not the biggest fan of that section. It was just okay, whatever. Um, it was I felt like it was just more it was to give us a little bit more information on what's going on and to show off Shinra's power and that black dude. That dude is badass, man. I don't know I forgot his
I
name.
forgot
But
his name, but the
but
what is it?
the
The
guy
ink,
yeah, yeah,
flaming
yeah.
ink. There you go. Oh
Yeah,
man.
the guy who's on the fire skateboard thing.
Hmm.
He's badass,
He's
dude. He
super
was
cool.
badass. Like I was like, bro, how can you not kill this? How can you not kill the Inferno right now? Like he was beating that Inferno's ass. That was really cool. Like again, it seems like the thing that's saving this season of Fire Force is the fight scenes.
Yeah, which I mean, okay, so my take on it is that the actual story behind the show, right, or this season, I think is very lackluster. I
Yeah.
feel like they could have definitely done so much more with the story that they're trying to like, drive home to the viewers, and I feel like Fire Force, at least in season one, of the first 24 episodes that we got, I think it was 24 episodes, but the first few episodes that we got in season one were very action packed. So that's kind of what people came to expect and enjoy out of the show. At least I know for sure I did. And then the story it didn't come second, but at the same time, it still helped drive the action, Um, but for season two, I feel like they went less action and more story driven, and at the same time I appreciate that they're trying to expand the world and say, hey, they're not just let's fight demons and that's it. Like they're actually here to try to figure out like what the demons are, what's causing them, and things like that. But at the same time, I don't know. It is a shonen anime, so I expect more fighting, right? I think that's probably fair to say and to think. Um, but the fight scenes that they do like kind of put time into, like they're fantastic. The first demon that they take, well, actually the second demon that they all group up to team against to defeat with like the ice tornado and all that, that was really cool.
Hmm.
The the fight scenes with Flamey Ink and then Shinra connecting to the Adola burst and having that Adola link for 1 second and literally defeating that demon by himself for 1 second. Um, well, I don't want to say fully by himself because he did have his homie from training days, Flaming Ink guy. Um, Also, what I found really cool, like the lore behind him, is that he's the only person that can match the captain from Squad One, his like
Right.
firepower. But
That's the
yeah,
thing that I was just like. So they're saying he could only do it for a short amount of time. Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, why can he not kill that demon Inferno? Like, I'm pretty sure the captain of the first section could do it. Why can't he do it if he could match his power? That's the one thing I was just like, I don't know about this. But still, it was really cool to see Syndra, show off and do what he can
mm-hmm.
do. That was really cool to see. I kind of agree and somewhat disagree with you. The fight scenes were great. I love the fight scenes. Everybody, whoever was in these fight scenes, you can really see they put a lot of effort in it. Um, I don't have a problem with the story. I have the problem with how long they took to get to these points of the story. The pacing is off. That's the problem that I have with this season, because it took so long for them to resolve the thing with the pink haired girl. Because that's most of the season. It's that right there of them trying to find her,
Yeah, for
then
sure.
and then them fighting, and then being like, "Hey, come with us," and she's like, "No, I'm gonna go with them." Most of the season, it's that, and then it switches over to them finding that one reactor thing in China, and that lasted for like maybe an episode or two,
Hmm.
and then it ends with the last episode, episode 11, where we're on right now, where Joker, the person that I thought was a bad guy, but he seems to be a good guy now. Teaming up with the guy from Captain Seven, the Seventh Squad or whatever. Did you see the latest episode? Oh, hopefully I'm not spoiling it for you.
No, I did watch it. So go ahead, speak away.
Okay, so Joker, who I guess everybody, hopefully not just myself. If it's just me, then I'm just a dum dum. But for the longest time, I thought he was a bad guy, but he
Hmm.
seems to be a good guy, or at least an anti-hero.
Hmm.
Is teaming up with the captain of the Seventh Squadron, which is like the strongest fighter they have of all the squads. You know,
Hmm.
that's been playing out to us before. So they're gonna go to the chapel and try to find some documents, just because of, even though the last section when they went to the reactor place and got that info from that, the information they gave us from there, it was very important. That section was kind of weak, other than the fighting. That information that they got, that information said, okay, so the church is lying to us. We got to see what we got to find the truth, in a sense. So they're gonna go, in a sense, rampage their way into the chapel and try to find the truth of what really happened with the great what's it called, the catastrophe or whatever, the
The Great
or and
Catastrophe, the
right,
Cataclysm, or
exactly,
whatever.
the catechism. Yeah, they try to find the truth of what really happened in the past, because the church is hiding a lot of that information. They're
Hmm.
lying to them, and they're suspecting that the church is somehow tied to the white clad, which are the bad guys who want to end the world. And this is what I wanted right here. And it sucks because I don't know. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Fire Force is going to continue to in the fall season, but this right here is what I wanted, because it's action, and it's gonna be heavy. Like this is gonna be some heavy things going on right here. Like, there is not it's not like, oh yeah, we went to go look for this thing, we fought this demon, and yeah, we're cool, we're fine. It's us coming back. Like, no, there's gonna be consequences for these guys' actions. Big ones. Like they're literally attacking the church. Like an established entity of what's keeping everything together. They're attacking it, and it's not just a this. There's not just Joker, who is considered this rogue crazy guy just on the side. One of the captains of the fire force is also attacking them. It's like, it's pretty bonkers to think about. I'm super hyped to see where this goes. Like, this show, for me, it started off this season started off really great, really hyped, and then throughout it dipped down, with the whole thing with the pink haired girl, and the thing with the reactor wasn't that great. With a few little small parts where I was like, oh cool, it's a cool action scene, it's a cool action scene. But now, ending with episode 11, I'm not saying I'm back on board again with Fire Force, but I have hope that it's gonna finally get to that point where I want it to get, with the story, with the action, where it's really gonna start picking up, and it's really gonna start getting into what we like about Fire Force. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, for me, it's like I feel like the dip in the middle really dipped hard. That's where
Well,
I kind
yeah,
of fell off for me,
yeah,
like really, really bad. Like at
I
first, I thought the
agree.
pink hair was like, all right, this is kind of interesting, but I do agree that they kind of lingered on it a little too much. I could care less about the factory that they found in the desert. I understand that it's like it was used for character development and kind of a little bit of story development,
No, it's a
but
lot of story. They give us a lot of information for the story.
I'm okay. Yeah, I guess the part of like what's inside the factories, but other than that, like I just feel like they kind of could have figured that out some other way instead of like going on this whole trip to China to figure it out and things like that. Also, some of the episodes were just kind of unnecessary. Like they could have made it to the factory a lot faster, maybe an episode faster or two. I just felt
Mm.
like they kind of dragged on certain like aspects of the story or like some of the
Right.
episodes like
For
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 way
sure,
longer.
for sure, for sure. This season's biggest problem is its pacing,
hmm
hands down.
But other than that, yeah, episode 11 kind of got me a little bit more hyped. I am skeptical though, just because I'm already scorned. I've been hurt by the slow pace and just the somewhat lackluster season that this has been. So I'm hoping that it goes back to just finishing off strong, and then season three, if it gets announced, will come out either fall or spring of next year for 2021. So we'll see. I know a lot of shows are kind of getting announced for spring, but also of course there's some for fall that we're going to be looking forward to. So yeah, really really excited about that. But I mean, summer 2020 has just been has I had high hopes, but it's kind of been meh. And then we still have Decadence to talk about too. So.
Right. So, yeah. Hopefully, Fire Force gets better. I'm still optimistic about it. Especially to see what the other pillars, how they're going to be, and things like that. So, hopefully, it gets better.
Mhm.
Decadence. This show, I'm really enjoying a lot.
Ooh, okay.
Um, a lot. It's just such a mind trip of a show. And this is like, and it just gets crazier and way more out there as it goes. Pretty much, this is the one thing I didn't really want to talk about at the when we first talked about it because it's such a big reveal. It's such a big spoiler that I feel like it would ruin if I brought it up earlier when we were talking about it for the first time. Um, but now that the show's been going on for a while, I feel like now we should talk about it.
Mhm.
Decadence pretty much is the show where there's these humans living on this like ship thing, like I don't know what's it called. Like it's like this giant mobilized home, I guess, like a tank.
A mobile
It's a
fortress,
giant
yeah.
tank. Yeah, exactly. And there's people living in it. And there's these monsters that attack every once in a while. And then there's two groups. There's the tankers, which is the people who, who are they're like the support class, I guess you could say. They take care of the ship, make sure they repair it. After the monsters get defeated, they go and skin them and get the meat and all that stuff so they can survive. And then there's the other class who they're called the power. That class is the people who go out there and actually fight the monsters, right? And that's pretty much how it is in episode one. Episode two and so on, you find out that the people who are the power, most of them, if not like 98% of them, are actually I don't even know how to explain it. Like they're like there's these cyborgs, like alien cyborgs in space who
Except
are
they're on Earth. I don't know. It's so random.
no, they're in space. They're in space. They're in a ship in space, I think. It's really weird because the show doesn't really tell you where
Oh
they're from.
no, honey. I think you misunderstood, honey.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
they're
They're in
like in
space.
the whole fortress is divided. So it's like the humans
I know
are in the
that. No,
lower
I know
half,
that.
and then like the little aliens things that you're talking about, they're in the upper half of the fortress. They're actually in the fortress.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. No. I'm pretty sure they're in their own space. Now, I get what you're saying because there is a section of the fortress that only the hunter, the power people go to, and that's where they can go and customize their character and things like that. I know about that. But where the little alien cyborg dudes, I'm pretty sure they're not in the same ship. I'm pretty sure they're like in a whole different other ship in space. I'm pretty freaking sure about that, Hector.
I concur, but we can figure that out for the next pod to see what's up. But is concur even the right word? But I think decadence is just I don't know. It's so weird to explain what they are. Are they robots
It's
though?
really hard to explain.
They're like
Huh?
they're like robotic aliens, right, or something
Yeah,
like that.
they call themselves cyborgs pretty much.
Okay.
They're like little robots, little alien robots. That's the best way I could describe them. So like for them, Decadence is just a video game they play. So they sign up. It's just like anybody else who plays a video game. You sign up and then you make your character, and then the character spawns in like the section where only those alien dudes could be in, or whatever. Like their avatars could be in. Like the regular humans can't go into that section of the ship. And they go out and they fight the monsters. But the thing is that the avatar, their character they're playing as, is an actual human being.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the human being that they're controlling, if they die for real. Like it's a permanent death. So then they would, in a sense, have to create a whole new account if they want to keep playing Decadence, I guess you can say. Um, Now the difference between this is the thing that was confusing me like crazy watching the show, is that like how are these aliens controlling the human beings? Uh, like sometimes and sometimes they're not controlling them or whatever. So it seems to me, because the show doesn't really tell you, but it seems to me that these aliens somehow have a way of being able to create humans, if not clone them in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
for them to have these avatars ready to go. So when the avatars that these aliens are using, they're not, and I don't say they're not real people because it's an actual human body they're controlling, but that body was never like it wasn't born naturally, I guess you could say. It's not like uh, it's not like you and me, Hector, that we came through the natural ways, right? Like we these
The stork
avatars,
dropped you off too?
yeah. um this is why it's so hard to explain. Like the avatars that these guys use, these human beings that these aliens use, they're just like clones, right? They don't have a mommy and daddy or whatever. They just kind of show up and be like, hey, yeah, we're one of the hunters, you know. And then the way that I see it is like the humans that are not being controlled, they're like the NPCs of the game, quote unquote, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they actually are humans. They live, they breathe, they eat. They make families and so on and so forth. But they're NPCs. They rarely get involved with the actual fighting. And now there's a small group of them who actually do get involved with the fighting. Um, and one of the main characters eventually happens to them. They get involved with the fighting, things like that. Bro, I'm trying to explain this show, and I hadn't even got into like the actual story itself. I'm barely trying to set up the premise, and it's so confusing. It's such a weird, ambitious like um story.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would have a hard time explaining this show in general. I mean, the best way I can think of it is like, yes, even now I'm having trouble like explaining it. It's kind of like Attack on Titan esque because obviously, they have to fight the monsters outside and they have to jump out the fortress. But at the same time, well, I mean, it's
Not
in the sense that
really.
like, well, yeah, it is because if you think about it, look, Attack on Titan, they have to survive. There's monsters outside, and then they fly around on like their little machines and have to kill these monsters. In that
All
simple
right, but that's
term,
not that's
it's
not
kind of like
the
them. Well, I mean, yeah, it is because these monsters are attacking their last like hope for humanity, which is a giant
right.
fortress.
But what I'm trying to say is that that's one small aspect of the show, but the bigger aspect of the show is that this life that these humans are living, it's all manufactured. It's all controlled by these alien dudes who they decide what's happening next. For
Correct.
example,
Which I would have
um,
explained if you didn't cut me
okay,
off,
okay,
man.
go ahead, go
Well, I mean,
ahead.
you're already going in, so just go for it.
So pretty much like so at a certain point in the show, these aliens are setting up the next quote unquote storyline for the game, where a bunch of these hunters, uh, not hunters, like the attacker guys, they're gonna go try to find the nest of the gag dolls. That's what the monsters are called. They're gonna fight them. There's gonna be this one super powerful one, and they're supposed to, and they're all supposed to die, right? Everybody who's going out there to hunt these monsters they're supposed to die, which is going to set up the storyline where these new legendary or these old school back in the day legendary hunters or fighters or whatever, they're going to show up and they're going to be like legendary. I don't even know how to explain it. Like let's say as an example, we're playing Red Dead online on Red Dead 2, right? And then a lot of the and all our characters die, and then John Morrison shows up to save the day, right? Like I guess like that would be as an example or
Mm-hmm.
something. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but but yeah, like these legendary fighters are gonna come back and save the day, and that was the storyline. But because of what's happening between the main characters, because this one girl, the main girl, she's not an avatar, she's not an alien, she's an actual human being. She's a tanker, and she gets pulled into, or she wants to become a fighter, and she's gonna go and fight with these people. But the main guy, who's an actual alien, he's grown attached to her. He's like, I can't let you go out there and fight because you're gonna die. Because I know you're gonna die. Because this is all fake. This is all simulated, and I know the storyline in a sense. So he's trying to stop her, but she's like, no, I'm gonna go do what I want to do. I'm gonna go fight. So give me a second. I'm gonna drink some water. So, um, so the girl goes out and starts goes with the fight with everybody else, and a bunch of them die. A bunch of them die, like almost like 90% of them die. Of the fighters die out there, and then the main guy shows up and he kills the main monster that was not supposed to be able to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't supposed to kill it, but he killed it, so he messed up the storyline. So then they're like, what's gonna happen next? So like in a sense, the story is this guy who is part of the system, part of the alien cyborg guys playing this game. And he ends up friending one of the NPCs, quote unquote, one of the humans, and because of that, because of that, he wants to make sure that she's still alive. He wants to save her, so he's gonna try to overtake, to disrupt, to destroy the system that they live in, where it revolves around this game called Decadence. If I feel like that's the best way to explain that. Um, it's a very hard show to explain. I hopefully it makes somewhat sense talking about it here. If you guys, if it's not enough for you guys, but you're still somewhat interested in it, just watch the first two episodes. Like, and then like if by the end of the second episode, if you're not hooked, then forget about it. You're not gonna get into it. But by the end of the second episode, if you're like, okay, this is interesting, just keep going, just keep going and keep watching because it's just it's such a great story. It's such great world building, and like it switches things on you, it flips things on you. You like these characters, and it's a great story, but it's a very hard thing to explain to someone. It's a show that you're better off watching yourself and then going from there, see if you're gonna watch it or not, because it's such a crazy premise. It's very hard to kind of explain. Clearly, because we've been trying to explain it here, and honestly, it sounds like we're just rambling and going in circles about aliens and avatars and this and that, and just better yet, just go watch it. And then if you're into it, you'll know. And if not, then I get it. It's not the easiest anime to get into for sure.
It's definitely an odd one, but it's worth a watch. It's really interesting.
I mean, I'm enjoying it a lot. Like I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's. I mean, again, it's the reason that I'm still watching it. I rarely keep up with anime nowadays like that, and I'm keeping up with it. And I can't wait to see what happens with the next episode. As of right now, we're in episode 11 with Decadence. Can't wait to see how they're gonna finish this up. Like it's getting it's getting crazy. It's getting super crazy right now. Um, but last thing we're gonna talk about, last show
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to talk about, Hector, here. As if you guys already know, we are the number one Rent a Girlfriend
Oh
podcast here.
boy.
We Always have to talk about Red and Girlfriend. We always have to recap it. We always gotta give our opinions on what's going on. Okay. Hector, I'm gonna let you go because I need to drink some water because my throat is getting raspy.
So on episode, I believe, let me just double check the number. On episode, I'm gonna cut this little bit part out. We're on episode 10 of Rent a Girlfriend, and man, oh man, was this an interesting one. We have the biggest news out of this episode is that we're finally going to get to see this new girl.
I think her name is Sana Chan or something like that.
I mean, dude, okay, I read the manga, and I should know her name. I should know her name, but I don't. I don't remember her name. But I will
Nice.
say the biggest thing that kind of surprised me was that not only are we going to get the new girl, but guess who the F is back?
Rugi Chan, because she's best girl.
No, Mommy Chan, and I am not excited for that at
She's
all.
back.
Yes, at the end of the episode, you see like the kind of trailer for the next episode, and Mommy Chan comes out in it.
Oh yeah.
So
forgot
I
about
am
that.
not happy
Yeah.
that Mommy Chan is back. Even though
Told you.
I know what's
Told
going to be
you.
happening. You were right, Rafa. You had clairvoyance. And yeah, she's going to be back. But the name of the girl is Sakura Sawa Sumi-chan. She is a first year in the college
Sumi-chan, yeah.
with them. And yeah, so Sumi-chan, she's going to be coming in, and
Sumi-chan, yeah.
man, okay, so I'm very excited for Sumi-chan. I think she's going to be, unfortunately, another victim to the Kazuya harem that will be ever developing, which kind of sucks. But we get some nice glimpses of Ruka-chan. We get some nice glimpses of Mizuhara, and just how the episode in general kind of just like played out. To be completely honest, I don't entirely remember everything that happened. I kind of
Yeah.
this episode, although it wasn't anything major, right? At least I wouldn't say it was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, this episode didn't seem like anything crazy. However, I did enjoy it. I know it's kind of weird to say I don't remember it, but I enjoy it. I mean, it's Rent a Girlfriend, dude. Like I know what I'm there for. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Mizuhara-chan, best girl. And also, actually, that reminds me. So I want to know as to why. You're in the minority here of why Ruka-chan is best girl, because I went and did a deep dive on Twitter, and I saw that most people are in the right state of mind when they say Mizuhara is best girl.
Okay. So before we talk about that, and I prove you wrong once again, let me recap the episode really quick.
Please.
Okay. Because I don't say I agree with you, but this episode is it was a good episode, don't get me wrong, but it's very lackluster compared to the other episodes,
Mm-hmm.
because this episode mainly focused on uh what's his name? What's the name of the
Kazuya.
main guy again? Kazuya's friend, the Bucktooth guy.
Oh, that's
So
right.
so the episode opens up with Best Girl Ruka-chan joining Kazuya in the same. She got the same job as Kazuya, working at that like karaoke bar joint,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she's like, "Hey, well, I want to spend more time with you. What better way? Well, we could work together, right?" And Kazuya's like, "What are you gonna work for? You gonna work?" And she's like, "Bro, I want to hang out with you. I'm gonna find any way possible to hang out with you because I told you I ain't playing no more games with you." Love it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved. For best part of the whole episode was just all Ruki-chan, and everything else kind of fell to the side. Ruki-chan is the best girl. I just loved her determination, saying like, bro, I'm here. You're my boyfriend, and this is what's it about, and I don't care what you say. Like, we're together, and I'm gonna show you how much I love you. Unfortunately, that person is Kazuya, which he's the biggest dum dum ever. Kazuya he reflects on what happened between him and his friend, the Bucktooth guy, and he's like, hey, you know what? To make it up to him, I'm going to he pretty much rented out Mitsuhara to the Bucktooth guy so they could go on a date. So he paid Mizuhara to for the rent a girlfriend service for the Bucktooth guy. So then, Kazuyo's like, "Hey, Bucktooth guy, my friend, meet me at this place at this time." And the Bucktooth guy is like, "All right, I'll be there." And he's there. And he's like, "Bro, where are you? You're taking forever." And then Mizuhara shows up. She's like, "Hey, come on, let's go. We're gonna go on a date." So then, he's hanging out with Mizuhara all day, and he's like, "Hey, I understand what's going on. Whatever, whatever." They pretty much made up, you know. The episode was pretty much Kazuya and the Bucktooth guy making up through Mizuhara and the rent a girlfriend service. Fine, whatever, not a big deal. I honestly don't give two dog
F's.
piles of poo poo. Thank you of his yeah. I don't give two F's of his bucktooth friend. I don't care about him. He's just
Mm-hmm.
a side character. Bro. Again, I've said this multiple times, and I'll say it again. Get over it. She was never your girlfriend. Stop acting like a baby to the bucktooth guy, because that's the reason he's been mad this
Yeah,
whole
he's
time.
been moping, not hanging
Be-
out with his friends, like thinking that
yeah,
love is
ta-
dead and all this other stuff, talking bad of women. Oof.
yeah, being a complete incel would be the best way to describe it. Because it's like, bro, first of all, you rented Ruka-chan out, and then Ruka-chan, being the professional she is, she said, "Hey, I appreciate you renting me out, doing the service or whatever, but like, hey, I'm not gonna be doing that no more. But again, thank you very much for your patronage. Great, awesome way, professional." And he's like, he got all sad or whatever because Ruka-chan's hanging out with Kazuya. Bro, she wasn't your girlfriend. Get over it. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, so aggravating. But whatever. I guess the show wanted to have Kazuya and the Bucktooth guy be friends once again. I guess. Who cares? So then, that's majority of the episode of him, Bucktooth guy, and Mizuhara hanging out, and then it ends um with Kazuya and Mizuhara talking, and then Mizuhara saying like, "Hey, I need you to do me a favor because we have this new girl in the rent a girlfriend service, but she's not doing so well because she's super shy. I trust you. Can you like go on a date with her, whatever, to kind of help her get experience, help her get better at it, kind of loosen up and things like that." And that is the pretty much the sneak preview of what was your name again? Sami-chan?
Sumi-chan.
Sao-chan? Sumi-chan, the redheaded girl, the one that we've been waiting all season to see. She's finally going to show up in the next episode, and that's pretty much the episode right there.
I will say you
With
kind of
this,
missed one big thing, which was the Bucktooth friend essentially asked Mizuhara-chan, like, hey, there's never been a situation where a rent-a-girlfriend has ever fallen in love with a client, right? Like, that's impossible. That never happened. And Mizuhara just kind of answers, like, well, maybe. That's, it's not that it can't happen, essentially, is what she says. And
right?
then it's yet again another example of how they're trying to show that Mizuhara does have feelings for him and has not maybe fully accepted them yet, but they're there. Um, and kind of like the Bucktooth friend is like, there's no way. Like, did I catch that correctly? Like, did it seem like she actually does care for him? So, I mean, it just kind of even more so growing the Kazuya and Mizuhara shippers, which I mean, I know Rafa
It's
isn't
gonna
happy
happen.
about it. Yeah, I know you're not happy about it, but more than likely it is going to be the ultimate goal, the outcome that's going to
From
happen.
from the start, you can see that's the end game. That's the end goal of Mizuhara and Kazuya being together. Now, I am Ruka-chan, gang for life. Ruka-chan is best girl. I don't care what anybody says. And the main reason why is because, well, first of all, I just love her personality. She's great. She's funny. She's goofy. She's cute. And also, as what solidified her as best girl for me, and Hector, I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm going to bring up, is the part where she started calling them out on their BS. I loved it. I just love that so much because I don't want to restate everything I said before in the other podcast, but she said like, "Hey, you guys are just digging yourselves in a deeper hole instead of just calling it quits and just ending it here and now and just saying like, hey, this is what it is. You guys are just still uh, all this dumb stuff here, and you're not willing to either accept what's really happening, or if it's really for your grandparents, really calling it quits before other people get hurt. I just love that she was calling them out on their BS, because that's the one thing that um, a lot of shows that with the deal with this type of stuff
Hmm.
don't really they don't bring it out to the forefront saying like, hey, this is what's actually happening. These are the problems that's going on. This is the situation we're in. Ruka-chan did that, and that's one of the main reasons why I think she's the best girl. And that's just for me. I don't know about the rest of the Ruka gang out there. I don't know how they feel about it.
Rookie
They
gang.
just think, yeah, they could just think that she's cute or whatever. Which she is cute. I just love her personality. On top of that, she has hints of tsundere, which I love tsundere. But it's just her character overall. I just love it. I love how determined she is. I love how she's like, this is what I want. I'm chasing it. This is the goal that I want. I don't care what steps between me. I'm gonna get what I want to get. I love it. I just love all of it. Also, by the way, I don't know if it's a joke or not, but like it's crazy on Twitter because there's all these different groups
Hmm.
on Twitter of like who's best girl. Like you said, there's Ruka gang, there's Mizuhara gang, there's this Sumi gang, and somehow I saw a few of these out there. There's an actual mommy gang. So these are like in a sense for I'm explaining to the people. These are like small groups of people who are supporting their the best girl, right? So like Ruka gangs, people who think Ruka Chan is best girl, so on and so forth. There's some out there, I don't know how. They might be trolling, they might be goofing, but there's some that actually say, "Mommy Chan best girl, Mommy Chan gang." I don't know. I don't see
I
that.
feel like
I
that's just a
feel like
bunch of simps for Mami-chan.
okay, okay,
I
right. I can
feel
see
like
that.
that's probably the best way to think of it because I swear to God, if they actually think that she's best girl, like in their right state of mind, like if they're just
It's
going off of
insane.
just straight sex appeal, then okay, cool. Yeah, Mami Chan's a very pretty character. Yeah, I get it. But if they're going off of like her personality and like everything that encompasses what a best girl is, like I think they need to check into a mental hospital, bro, because that is
Yeah, it's
wild.
insane. It's insane. Now, Hector, for me, like I said, Ruka Chan is best girl, but I seen a few previews, a few things here and there for Sumi Chan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My opinion might change.
Mm.
It's I Sumi Chan. She seems very cute. I also have a thing for like characters who are shy, like how she is. Like when you get
Oh
embarrassed and stuff like that.
boy, are you gonna
So
like Sumi-chan?
so I
Wow.
so I'll see how that goes. I don't know. But again, we'll see how that goes. Again, nothing against Mizuhara. Like I already know Mizuhara is going to win at the end of the day, right? And I don't know how much of a award it is because she's going to be with Kazuya, but at the end of the day, she's going to be number one pick, right? And I know that I'm in the minority with with the best girl thing, but hey, you know that's just how it is, right? Like Mizuhara, like she's great. Like again, I'm not nothing against her, but some of her actions did kind of like rub me the wrong way here and there, especially just dealing with Kazi and just putting up with his BS. It's just like, bro, you gotta move on. I don't know. But honestly, Hector, I honestly think this anime is going to continue into the fall season. I honestly think
I
it
actually
will.
really hope so. I don't, like I said, I haven't, at least in the time that I've checked around, like I have not seen any things that were saying like, okay, we'll be continuing in season, in fall season. But then again, a lot of animes that I have seen in the past will announce it like the week before, yeah, like the week before the season starts, or even Crunchyroll will announce like, hey guys, season two, Run a Girlfriend's gonna be coming out, or something like that. Even if they postpone it to January, I wouldn't mind it. But anything past January, I think is like not beneficial to them because they're so popular as is right now.
Yeah, and the reason why I think it's still going to continue, or if they do take a small break, it's going to come back very fast and or more recent, or like in the near future, should I say?
Hmm.
Is because just the way these episodes have been structured. Yeah, I mean we're getting to episode 11, towards the end of the summer season, and they're barely introducing Sumi-chan, right?
Hmm.
So I feel like they're just not going to end it right there. I feel like it's going to continue on into the fall season. That's my prediction, and also that's what I'm hoping for. So, um, overall, this episode was very
Meh.
lackluster.
Yeah.
It was very meh. The main focus of this episode was the Bucktooth friend, which nobody cares about. You know, the only upsides that I saw from it was Ruka-chan and her antics trying to get closer to Kazuya. And we finally got official word that Sumi-chan is coming in the next episode. That's the only thing. That's the only two things that I found good or great or exciting about the show. And of course, just more confirmation of Mizuhara actually liking Kazuya with the conversation he had with the Bucktooth guy. And of course, we're gonna get more Mommy Chan because of course we're gonna get more Mommy Chan. She's the bad guy of the story, so she's not going anywhere anytime soon.
That's true. Yeah, I would say I completely agree with everything you said. Yeah, I mean, granted, okay, not every show can be 100% and like hit every ball at the ballpark, but I mean, the Rent a Girlfriend can't be perfect. So this episode definitely was not my favorite. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was my least favorite. Even the one
Yeah, this
that
is this is the least favorite one. Yeah.
yeah, even the one that got me mad at Kazuya, was better than this. Uh,
Right.
so so yeah, I mean, it is what it is. This episode was, like you said, lackluster, but we move on. It's gonna just get better, and I like you said, I do hope it goes into fall, if not January, because I think they really need to capitalize on how popular the show is. I know the manga itself is really, really popular, especially now because of the show. So I think they just need to really just grab the bull by its horns and just keep it going.
Right. Exactly. Um. All right. I mean, that's the recap right there.
Ooh.
Can't think of anything else.
Yeah,
Right?
me
Any other
neither.
shows you want to bring up?
Um,
Great.
Uh,
No.
actually, there's one cool thing for all of you guys that I'm gonna just say it one more time about Pokemon. Ash recently got his little brother introduced. It's not like his biological little brother, but like his Alolan little brother. So, yeah, there's that little tidbit. If you guys want to know more about that, it's the most recent episode in Pokemon Journeys. I believe it's episode 37. So yeah, that just that little tidbit. It was really nice. Also today, which is September 15th, is National Ash Ketchum Day. It is the day that he last year became the Alolan champion of the Alolan League. So his lifelong goal, he finally achieved it 1 year ago today. So just that little tidbit of an anime that has been airing during the summer season and will continue on because it is an ongoing anime. So yeah, just that little tidbit, and that should be it, really.
Okay. Cool. So, oh my God, all this talking about anime, heck, it got me so tired. Oh my God, I
Me
think I'm gonna
too.
take a nap real quick. Let me just go ahead, close my eyes, and just. Oh my God, heck, how could I forget? We still gotta talk about slept on
Oh
anime.
my god, let's get right into it.
Jesus. So this week I have one I want to point out for you guys. I feel like this. I don't know how slept on this anime is, but it's a show that I want to point out because it was a lot of fun watching it, and hopefully, if people have not seen it, this will bring more eyes towards this show. It is called Squid Girl. The invader comes from the bottom of the sea. Have you heard about this show, Hector?
No, not at all.
Okay, great. It is a comedy show. It is about this squid girl, pretty much. She comes from out of the ocean. She's like, I'm gonna take over the world because you guys are polluting the ocean, and it's not good for the ocean. So I'm gonna conquer the world, pretty much. And she ends up working at a restaurant at the beach, pretty much. So like she's like, I'm gonna conquer the world, but I need money and I need things and things like that. So and she ends up being distracted by the rest of the main characters and working at this restaurant, pretty much. It's a very funny show. It's not one to be taken serious. Like, oh my god, is she gonna conquer the world? No, she's not gonna conquer the world. You can tell by episode one, she's not gonna conquer the world. But it's one of those shows where it's like, you know how like they say, um, like like fish out of the sea, or like no pun intended, but like or like someone who's like in a different area they're not used to, like in a different type of world or things like that. So they're new to the experiences, and that a lot of the jokes, a lot of the humor comes from that. That's what that's what this is pretty much. Is this squid girl, this the squid creature girl thing that comes from the sea is interacting with humans. It doesn't know what it is or whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is one thing that I forgot what I think it's one of the earlier episodes. She threw up her because she's a squid. She's half squid, so squid ink is a thing that they eat in Japan, and she was throwing up squid ink on the spaghetti, you know, and people were eating it because like, oh, this is good. And she's looking at them like, bro, you're eating up my throw up. Like, what is that? Like to her, she doesn't understand that they eat squid ink and things like that. So it's a really funny show that it has this girl who in a sense wants to take over the world, but because of hijinks and shenanigans, she gets distracted easily, and the rest of the cast doesn't let her get to that point where she wants to get, where she can take over the world. It is a very funny show. I feel like people should give it a shot if they haven't seen it. It's a really fun, lighthearted, kooky show, really wacky. It's great. Hopefully I sold it enough for the people out there watching or listening.
It sounds definitely
Excuse me.
wacky for sure. Um,
It is. It's a lot of fun.
yeah, it sounds like a really like odd. I want to know how you even stumbled on that anime. It sounds really weird. Like just looking at it or just hearing about it, I probably wouldn't even give it the time of day. So that's really interesting. Although the way you explained it, so I mean, yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, that is my recommendation. Slept on anime. Ah, what a good nap I just had. Re, I feel recharged, ready to go, Hector, for the last segment of today's podcast. As you
Ooh,
guys already know, it is the mainstay, the main one, the main honcho segment that we always do here at the end of the podcast. It is Anime Swap. Of
whoa, there was
course.
some fast ones in there. Okay, I see
We got
you.
some really fast ones, some very fast anime swaps we're throwing around. Um, let's see. Hector, you start because I was just talking about it. So I want you to start. Go ahead and talk to us about what you watched this week.
Okay, well, this week, um, I watched an anime.
Okay.
um, I don't really know how to. So when we talked about it, right? It's called The World God Only Knows. When we had
Right.
spoke about it, you said you didn't really have high hopes for it. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I think that was the right approach because let me just clear my throat real quick. I think that was the right approach because I'm not gonna lie. This is probably my least favorite that you've actually recommended to me. Um, I think the hijinks were a little too much for me. Like I see the appeal of it. I see like the goofiness of it all, and I think for me the biggest problem was that I didn't really like the main character. I thought that he was a little too off-putting in the sense that like uh I have only ever played one dating sim and it ended up being a scary one, which was Doki Doki Literature Club.
Uh-huh.
Um and that was really really cool. I did not expect it at all. So that was an interesting experience, but the fact that this guy just prides himself on being the divine the divine god who can get any girl in a 2D game and things like that. Like I just didn't really like him. I thought his antics were a little over the top, or sometimes I was like, all right, whatever, man. And the only character I actually really liked was the demon, who like assisted him in capturing the souls. And even then, I kind of thought it was kind of, I don't know. I can say I probably for sure hands down enjoyed this one the least. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I it was kind of not okay. I'm not gonna say it was painful to watch these episodes. Like there was like little bits where I did laugh. For example, like in episode one where she's like, oh, I think it was episode one or two where she had to like broom a little bit of like I don't know. Oh, it was actually episode two where she had to like broom a little bit of like dirt that's on the ground in the house, and she accidentally blows a hole in the house because she put her broom on like max level destruction instead of just like a simple broom. Little stuff like that that did make me laugh, and like I just didn't like that like he had to essentially like make the girls fall in love with him, and then it was kind of that's that at the end of the episode. Like there wasn't any other connection between them again. Like I thought it was gonna be like one of those like crazy goofy harems where like it's like essentially he's collecting these girls kind of like he does in 2D games and things like that, and he just like conquers them all as he explains it, right? And like yeah, I don't know, I just felt like this one was kind of just a big miss for me, but uh I can kind of see the appeal of it, right? Like it's goofy, it's funny, it has its moments where like I'm like, oh, okay, cool, and the premise of it is very interesting. But I think for me, just this wasn't it. And I mean, I guess yeah, just for me, this wasn't really a show that I would watch or cared to watch even after this anime swap. But I mean, at least I could say like, hey, I've watched the first three episodes of the world God only knows. So there's that.
Wow. Not. I'm not that surprised that that's how you feel, but I was hoping that you enjoyed it more. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to say. Like, okay, you didn't like it. Like, okay, moving on. Like, yeah, this wasn't like my. I didn't have high hopes. Pretty much, I was just like, I was like, it was almost like a Hail Mary. Like let's see if he likes it or not. I like the show. I watched all of it, but it's not for everyone, for sure. It's one of those shows that's not going to be for everyone. Um, the show that I watched that was recommended by you,
Yes, yes,
it is it is called Sirius the Jaeger, right?
correct.
Said that right. It is about these group of hunters who are hunting vampires, to make it as simple as you can get. I saw the first three episodes, and I'm liking it. There's other shows that I like more than this one that you've recommended me before, of course, like Great Pretender and stuff like that. But this is a pretty good show. I feel like this is a show that I'm gonna eventually keep watching. The action scenes are great. The violence is like top notch. Like it's just like super violent. That's like one thing I was just like I did not expect. I was like, bro, like this one character, like the main guy was fighting this one character, and like he cut like her arm off and her leg off. I was like, yo, what is going on? Like it was very intense. The fight scenes, the animation in the fight scenes are great. And the each of the main characters have their own personality. They don't feel like they're just there to support the main guy. Like they feel like their own person, which is really great to see. Um, and the one thing I like about the show is that it's not really holding your hand, explaining things to you type of thing. It's kind of like, hey, there is some information being given to you, but it doesn't feel like they're explaining things to you. It doesn't feel like they're stopping the show to explain things to the viewer. It's just part of the conversation about the situation that's going on, and you kind of pick pieces. You pick information here and there through these conversations. So I feel like that's I feel like the setup is really really well for this show. You kind of get in a sense of what's going on. Um, and I just love how episode three ends. They have the vampires have this evil scientist working on something, and the last thing you see is like a big old silhouette of like this, in a sense, Frankenstein's monster, which I thought was super cool. So it looks like they're taking like inspiration or these elements from like Universal monsters like Frankenstein, vampires, werewolves. Like there's like they don't exactly say werewolves are in there, but like there is it's hinted at that there's like some type of like werewolf or if not like werewolf energy or like strength or whatever um and who knows what else is going to show up? I mean, if they already have Frankenstein monsters in there, and they already have vampires and things like that, maybe who knows? Maybe Van Helsing will show up. Who knows? Who knows what else is going to show up there? So I'm excited to see where the show goes. Like I said, I'm liking the story so far. The action's like the best thing out of the whole thing. The whole show, the action's like the just top notch. I'm really enjoying the show. Really enjoying it. So
Wow.
can't wait to see where it goes from here.
Uh, I must admit I'm a little surprised. I kind of figured it wasn't going to be anywhere near the top, but I mean to hear what you said about it, it's actually kind of really surprising. I will say that I think I am super close to finishing it on Netflix, and I'm actually really surprised because it kind of I guess it kind of solidified the thought that I had when I saw Great Pretenders, but Netflix really doesn't pull punches when it comes to like adult content in anime. Like, for example, in Great Pretenders, they showed scenes where like there were women who were drugged up and OD'd in the first episode or two. And as like an example of like just the people kind of giving backstory on the story of like the bad guy in case one. And then in this one, there's like a gory like just people just losing arms and legs and things like that. So I mean, I don't know. Netflix animes might be kind of top notch because these are two Netflix shows that were specifically meant for Netflix release. So I don't know. Very interested to see what the next one might be.
Yeah, Netflix doesn't usually they don't put out as much anime as like Crunchyroll or Funimation, and also they take their time to actually release the actual anime itself. For example, like if they let's say they get distribution rights for a certain anime, they release it on their time. They don't release it on whenever the show's actually being aired.
Mm-hmm.
And like let's say for example, let's say this next season, falls this fall season. Let's say there's going to be Rent a Girlfriend season two. Just an example, hypothetically speaking, and Netflix picks it up. Netflix they're not going to show it each episode as it airs. They're gonna hold on to it and release it all at once whenever they want to. They've done that before, multiple times with a lot of these shows. That's just how they work for whatever reason. They release anime shows whenever they want to, but it seems like they're doing a really good job picking these anime shows because Great Pretender is amazing. Series of Jaeger is another really good show. There's some a lot of other really banger shows on Netflix. So, and Netflix anime section is really popping off right now.
I mean, whoever it is that's picking these animes, give that person a raise. I was gonna say man, but we don't know. So give that person a raise because they're hitting it out the park.
For sure, for sure. All right, Hector, go ahead and give me my recommendation, man. What you got? What you got?
So I was considering this for the slept on anime, but I really wanted to give it to you because, and to be completely honest, I actually really love this show. This show was one that came out quite a bit ago. I want to say in 2016, maybe. It is called Roka Braves of the Six Flowers. This show is really near and dear to my heart because it was one that I actually really surprisingly liked. I had no idea what it was going to be about. I had never heard of it before. This is around the time where I wasn't really reading manga like that or anything crazy. So when I got right into this, I was like really fresh, really new to it, and I really, really liked it. Essentially, what it's about is it's in a fantasy world where sorcery and magic kind of exist, and these people are kind of, I don't want to say like behind in technology because technology doesn't really exist. Science doesn't really exist in this world. And then there's six characters who kind of get picked. And I said characters because it could be anybody, but 6 people get picked as chosen people to defeat the demons that are going to be invading their world. Because every X amount of years, the portal to the demon realm opens, and they have to have these 6 heroes defend them. And it's like the saint of healing, the saint of power, things like that. Like they're essentially called saints. And one person who is the main protagonist gets chosen, and he is a student of science. His teacher was essentially the scientist of their time, and he began to use, like, for example, smokescreen balls and things like that, and different techniques to combat the magic and sorcery and sword skill and things like that. So he's super into science, and the main character uses science himself to kind of give himself advantages when he shouldn't have advantages. And the main plot story behind it all is that there is supposed to be 6 Braves. However, for some reason there's 7. And so you kind of figure out what they have to do against this imposter and things like that, and they kind of just have to figure out amongst themselves and what's going on. The action scenes are incredible. I love this show from beginning to end, and to be honest, I kind of really want to get back into this show, so I probably will watch the first 3 episodes with you, and knowing me, I'll probably just finish the whole thing. And yeah, I'm super excited to hear what you think of this one. I won't say I have incredibly high hopes, but you know, I'll have some hopes for it. So yeah.
Okay, for sure. It sounds interesting. I'm gonna go in with a open mind to see how I feel about it. You recently been giving me some good recommendations, so I'm gonna go in very optimistic.
Ooh,
Hopefully,
okay.
I'm gonna enjoy it. So, the one that I have for you, I hopefully you have not seen it. Hopefully, you have not heard about it. It's called Erased. Have you heard about it?
Okay, I have heard about this show, but I have not watched it. I know it is an
Okay.
incredibly popular show, so interesting.
Yes. Great. So, it is called Erased. I think it's for sure it's on Crunchyroll, and I think it's on Netflix too. Right? I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. But anyways, what the show's about is about this main guy, the main dude, right? Something happens to him. He's an adult, right? The grown man, and something happens to him. A very traumatic event happens to him when he's an adult. Like you follow him throughout his like a regular day. Something crazy, something messed up really happens to him, and then he somehow goes back in time to when he was a kid, and the events of what happens when he was a kid affect what happened on that day where that super traumatic event happened to him. So he has to, in a sense, figure out what happened when he was a kid that leads up to that one event when he's an adult, and he's trying to stop it, trying to change it, so that thing that happened to him that was really bad doesn't happen to him.
Hmm.
And it deals with I'm not even gonna say what it deals with. I'm gonna let you experience it for yourself.
See, this one I'm incredibly. This is my Great Pretenders that when I recommend it to you. Like this is one that I've been wanting to watch but never got to it. Um, yeah, I mean I know this is a hugely loved show. I know it is.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I have very high expectations for it, but I feel like it's gonna meet it. Like this is one of those where it's like I not that I'm having overly high expectations for it, but like I know in my mind, like, okay, I should love this from the amount of people that I've spoken to that love anime that told me, like, dude, you're gonna like this. And it's just one of those where, like, I know I should watch this. I just haven't gotten around to it, but now I have, like, not an excuse, but now I have a reason to watch it, right? Because of Anime Swap. So I'm super excited for this one. Very, very excited. So can't wait.
Yeah, it's a really great watch, especially when especially especially in the moments where the show catches you off guard. It's really good stuff. Really,
Hmm.
really good
Okay.
stuff. So hopefully you enjoy it. Don't just go in ready to watch anime. Don't
Oh yeah.
like Don't be like, oh, don't let yourself overhype yourself. Like, yes, this anime is loved. Yes, people always talk about this anime, whatever. Don't just take all that out of your head and just go and just watch the anime itself.
Okay.
Don't let other people's opinion judge your opinion. Okay, just watch the anime.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, but that is pretty much it.
The meat and potatoes.
We have covered everything that we wanted to talk about here today on the Bento Boxcast. Thank you everybody for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did recording it. As always, thank you, Hector, for being my co-host, my partner in crime.
Thank you.
As always, thank you for all you beautiful listeners out there listening. Hector, anything you want to say to them before I close out the show?
Ooh, yes. You know what? I'm gonna give a final shout out to the boys over at Geek 3000, the Playing Pod, and of course you. I just want to say go check out the Playing Pod. It's a great show. Maybe one day we'll have myself on there. You know, just plug myself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we'll see. I mean, super excited. They have great content over there. The pop culture, video games, anything like that you can think of, they got it over there. Except for the anime, because this is that spot. Other than that, make sure to check out a great shirt company, 3upprints.com. That is the site that you can go to. 3 Up Prints is a fantastic place that you can get any custom shirt that you'd like. You just contact them and then, negotiate it from there. They make some great quality content shirts, and I think it's just a great place to go check out. Definitely shout out to them over there, Nathan, Alex, and John. Oh, I wonder you've heard these names before, but yeah, check those guys out. They're doing big things, having big moves, and yeah, that's about it for me. Oh, actually, before I go, I know you got to plug our Twitter and things like that, but check me out on twitch.tv/ultra_vman. I stream video games there. Definitely check me out. I will be streaming this week for sure. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Great, thanks so much, Hector. And excuse me, we for sure got to wrap things up because my voice is starting to go. Follow us on Twitter at Bento Boxcast. You can hit us up on there. Hit us. You can hit me up at Me Talk and maybe you want to talk to me personally, or if you want to talk personally to Hector one on one, it's at ultra_vman. Of course, like we said before, we are on Spotify, we are on Apple Podcasts, we are on all the other platforms that is associated with Anchor. With that Anchor service. So if you're on the run or you're on the go, you don't have enough time to sit down and listen to us at home, you can always listen to us through those different ways right there. Also, the mainstay, the main spot, the main joint, like I said earlier, is YouTube for us here on YouTube. Go ahead and like the video if you have not done that. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed also, and hit the little bell icon for the notifications so you can know that our video comes out our podcast comes out every Friday by noon. So you start the weekend with some great anime podcasts. And of course, we know you like the show. We know you love the show, and you can also be part of the show. Well, in what way you can do that? Well, of course, you can comment down below on the YouTube video. We read your comments. We give you guys that shout out, or just hit us up on Twitter. We'll give you that shout out also. Just ask Josue. Josue gets that shout out every week because he comments every week. Great, lovely stuff. Now, one last thing I want to plug before we go ahead and say goodbye to the beautiful listeners, you guys out there. Go ahead and join the Discord. That's right, we made a Discord. It's up, it's running. We have a few people in there. We can't wait to see the rest of y'all in there. And we have everything in there. We have regular anime things we can talk about. There's the memes for anime. There's that plus 18 side if you want to see some anime titties. Bro, we got everything. We got it all. Got it all
Jesus.
up in that. Everything in that Discord that's anime related, it's up in there. We're up in there too. So if you want to talk to us and for whatever reason you can't get onto the YouTubes, you can't get onto Twitter, you can go to the Discord. Hit us up on there too. So go ahead and join. everything that we've plugged in, everything we talked about it in the description down below. So if you want to go ahead and hit up those links. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for listening once again. And oh my god, heck, I think that's it. I think we're done
Oh
here.
my
Uh,
god.
I'm out of here, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and go buy me a bento box because I'm
I too
hungry.
am hungry, so we'll catch you guys on the next one. It's gonna be hot ready, so make sure to enjoy that bento. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.